You're right, RC Addict. We're going to flash Betaflight 4.4.2 and it's all going to be done on the SPEEDYBEE adapter and on my phone, and I'm going to walk you through it. Why? Because it's just come out. It's brand new. Let's flash it. So this is my Diatone Roma F4. Why did my voice just go so deep? It's got the F722 Mamba processor in it, the I2C or I2C. It's got a run cam on the front, which is basically separated through the SPEEDYBEE. I suggest to everyone who's gonna take chances like I did in the last video, and I suggest you get some cloth tape, and I suggest you literally surround it, cake it with cloth tape, yeah, and then run them shitty little wires, yeah, right, and solder them back to the SPEEDYBEE on the back, and then put a cable tie around the SPEEDYBEE and cloth tape, because this little plug in here, the connector, slips out if you don't put a cable tie on it. Now the mad thing is, there ain't nothing wrong with this drone. It flies awesome, but I love flashing stuff. I love brand new stuff, and we're gonna love it together. So let's do it. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is go to the GitHub pages. 4.4.2, and then you know what you're letting yourself in for. We can see straight away improvements and fixes. D-shot timing improvement. What's that? Just wait a minute. Actually, wait a year while I go and take a thesis on pulse width modulation at university, and I'll come back and I'll tell you what that is. It doesn't concern us. It's for a different it's for a different flight controller. All right. Okay. Anyway, D-shot, bidirectional D-shot, is the flight controller sending PWM to the ESC, and then the ESC from the motor is returning the EMI feedback from the motor to the flight controller. Am I correct? I think I am. You're gonna look a prick if you're not, aren't you? It's morning, and it's taken me friggin' ages to do it. Because I've had to flash it and screen record and all this. Anyway, so listen, put your thumbs up, guys, for me, yeah? You can subscribe, you can unsubscribe, it's up to you, I don't care, but put your thumbs up, because this is taking hours, alright? Okay, let's start flashing. And the first thing was to read that GitHub, because you want to know what's changed. If there's going to be a major thing that's changed, yeah, you need to know exactly what it is. Okay, now cloud builds. Let me just talk you through this. So here we have an analog drone, okay, VTX as we know it. Okay, it's got an OSD chip on the flight controller. Camera passes through the flight controller, through the OSD chip, which overlays the telemetry and the information you need, and then goes through into the VTX, and then out through the aerial. Okay, so this is an F722 I2C processor. So Betaflight, what they've done is, because of canvas mode, all the HD canvas mode and all this kind of stuff, LED strips, it's all consuming a lot of CPU power. Okay, so basically what they've done is they've said, you pick what you want on your flight controller to make it less processor hungry. Okay, so for this, for instance, I'm just gonna pick, I'm gonna pick Crossfire, which is expresslrs derivative. I'm going to pick analog OSD. I'm going to pick GPS, which on this now is return to land. You can see in this video here at night, by the way. So it's giving you a chance to not overload. So if you want a long range drone, okay, in analog mode, it's, you know, it's basically giving you a chance to keep your CPU down, because I tell you this now, and this is so important, and it's something that I literally had problems with for ages. Okay, right, I had about on Betaflight 4.4.2 I had a lot of drift when I was trying to calibrate the accelerometer, so it would keep wanting to move backwards, yeah. Sorry, we've got the telly in view, unless you want to watch the telly, that is. It's a load of crap. But anyway, so I had this problem where, you know, I had bidirectional D-shot on, okay, which is power hungry, yeah, CPU hungry, and I had in angle mode, I'd set it, and it would always drift. It would drift all the time, and it took me ages. And then what I did was, one day, just out of trying to get rid of a bit of prop wash, I turned off the bidirectional D-shot, okay, and it took my CPU down from 67% down to about 30, okay, and all of a sudden that drift was gone. So in other words, the processor was being so overworked that, you know, other things, simple things like the accelerometer, couldn't keep up the loop timing, and it was drifting. Okay, so cloud builds lets you give more space to your CPU for the functions that you need to use. All right, so before we go SPEEDYBEE mode and do the whole flash, let me just tell you something. SPEEDYBEE does not like VPNs, okay? So if you've tried and basically you connect to your Wi-Fi and you're running a VPN, going through a few different countries, whatever VPN you have, it does not like it. So it will hang on pulling firmware, or it will pull the firmware that you want, but it won't once you connect to the internet, yeah, and press that button, connect once or connect always, yeah, and then go back to the app, it will not do the flashing process. You have to turn your VPN off, unfortunately. All right, so click on the SPEEDYBEE app, open it. If you're watching this, I'm sure you know how to connect your adapter to your drone. Connect it. I will speed up bits that we don't need. There she is. As you can see, my previous version was 4.4.0. No battery connected. And drop down the menu and you can see your flight controller. Your board is Mamba F722I2C or I2C. Now I'm not going to go through the whole of this, but it's obvious. Take pictures. You need to know your ports, remember them, yeah? And then go down the list and take a picture or use a screen recorder like I am. And there's a picture, snap, bosh. See, GPS, take a picture of every single one, okay? If you've done it before, then you will remember some, like OSD and stuff like that, yeah? Okay, I'm not going to go through the whole of this. It's about flashing, not about taking photos, but this is a must, all right? Once you've finished taking your photos, come out of the app, unplug everything, close the app and plug back in again. Do not use a battery, as this is a clean flash. We want to give the flight controller the parameters for, i.e. the VTX, before we plug in a LiPo. So, plug all back in again. Go to firmware. Okay. Number F722 I2C, I2C. Below, release candidate 4.4.2, the 1st of June. Yes, you want a full chip arrays. And here's our cloud build information. Let me pause it a second. So this bit isn't hard. Just look at it. It's giving you all the information you want to see anyway. So if you want to save a little bit of CPU, get rid of GPS. I need it. I need it. But notice the telemetry. You do not need the telemetry. It's blank because it uses the Crossfire protocol. Alright? And that's your cloud build system. That's it. Now you want to get your firmware. So pull firmware. Okay? It's going to ask you to connect to the Wi-Fi. Right, and what it's saying is wait, you'll see. All right, watch. Okay, if you've got a VPN, that will hang on that point there. So SPEEDYBEE no, SPEEDYBEE adapter. All right. Connecting. Now wait. You want to connect only this time. See it? Connect only this time. Back to your app. Bosh. So it's going to clean up your flight controller first, erasing the flash on it. Don't exit the app. Make sure you've got plenty of battery in your phone. Right. Now it's getting a bit sexy. Yeah? I'm sexy and I know it. Dun, dun. Firmware flashing. Keep your phone near your SPEEDYBEE adapter. Alright? Don't go taking it over the other side of the bloody room when this is happening. See, it's not scary, is it? This is real time. So sensual, isn't it? And then it should confirm, yeah, verifying firmware. And you're waiting for that big green, yes, success. Right, just wait a few seconds, connect, and it's reconnecting. And just like on the PC, Bosh, apply custom defaults. Now let me tell you what this apply custom defaults is. Now, Now, 15 years, 20 years ago, before we had tiny little boards like that inside of there, yeah, we had this Arduino. We've still got the Arduino. It's just the components are a lot smaller. This is one of the originals. Anyway, now this has got digital IOs, so digital high lows, and pins, pin outs, pin ins, analog ins, analog outs, and they're all numbered. And some pins do PWM, pulse width modulation, and so and so and so and so. Applying custom defaults does not mean that magically all your settings are going to be back on there. Okay, so if you're doing this on the PC, there's a button that you can press and you can say load presets. Okay, right, or save presets, but I can't seem to find a way of saving it on the SPEEDYBEE app. So this is why you have to take note and take photos of everything. Anyway, so this Arduino, I mean, literally, when I was at university, I made one of these run an engine, yeah, a fuel injected engine, yeah, because you've got your inputs and your outputs. But before you can do that on a flight controller, that Mamba I2C, yeah, that Mamba F722 I2C has got to have its custom defaults. So it's pin numbers. So LED blue pin equals 13, and all this kind of stuff written to the board. Yeah, so that's what applying custom defaults is. All right. So you've pretty much got a blank canvas, but luckily you've got all the photos from the beginning or the screen, you know, the running screenshot. So what we're going to start with is our ports tab. So go to your ports tab and input the data that was on there before. Now notice the serial, so your receiver is still there, okay? MSP, right, I'm turning that off on UART4. Don't turn it off on the first one. UART4, because it's a DJI, right? And basically DJI uses MSP protocol to talk to port 4, okay? I'm running a standard VTX on it, so MSP is turned off, and when it reboots, you'll see that MSP stays off. That's just for this board, by the way. Right, next thing, RC link. Notice that it's in S-Bus mode. We don't want S-Bus, we want Crossfire, yeah? So change it to Crossfire, put your telemetry button on, save it, reboot it. Now your controller, if you've got a password in it, should automatically bind to it. All right. It should move everything just like it did before. Check all your switches, check everything. (1000 microseconds pulse position pulse position modulation. Telemetry, make sure that's on. Now let's go to our presets. (4.4 and you want to go to RC link, and whatever you're running. Now I'm running 250 Hertz expresslrs. View clear. Now there's some items. Freestyle. I want freestyle. Serial. Separate RX. That's what I want. Apply. And Bob's your uncle. And guess what? That's all I'm telling you, because I am knackered. That's been one of the hardest things I've done, because, you know, actually programming your own drone and recording and doing a walkthrough at the same time and getting things right is a hell of a job. So, you know, I think you can do the rest yourself. You know what to put in. Yeah, you've got it all from the beginning. All right, I hope you've enjoyed it. All right, I hope you've had a laugh at me, you know, because there's nothing worse than listening to people just drone on and drone on and drone on. That came out naturally. Drone on. Ugh. Anyway, take care. I'm going to bed. RC Addict. RC Addict.